Hello, you multi-momented maltsters. Ralphie here, bringing you 3 recommended whiskies for the time of year, and specifically I'm thinking about whiskies suitable for a serious whiskey drinker. So these are not the luxury branded end of whiskey, but the luxury delivered, sophisticated, complex, demanding single malt Scotch whiskies, which in my opinion, if you buy this as a gift for a whiskey drinker, a whiskey aficionado, someone who's been at least 5 years into their whiskey journey, they're going to thank you for it. There's 3 whiskies here. Some are more economical and affordable. Others are a little bit more high-end in terms of price, but they deliver a result. Any of these bought for a real whiskey fan, they're not going to be disappointed. And though let's start. I was going to say a little bit more, but there's no need. I'm just going to introduce the bottles to you now and tell you a little bit about them. Starting with the first one is an independent bottling. And this is the point where if you don't know much about independent bottlings, you go into a specialist retailer, a whiskey shop that knows their business. And if you're not sure, just ask online. And you go and you say, I'm looking for a bottle of whiskey for a friend of mine who's really into their whiskies, and I want something that they've not tried but is going to be very palate stimulating. Mortlach really ticks the boxes, and Mortlach can come across very well within the independent bottlers range. And this is a good example of that. From Signatory, the independent bottler, you have a vintage 2012, aged 11 years, Mortlach. Mortlach is a Speyside single malt known for its savoury notes. So we're talking about a whiskey which is strong in the sensation range with sour and umami. Very interesting character. One of the real big heavyweights of Scotch single malt whiskey. This is bottled at 48.2%, and basically that's about it. Signatory don't give you that much information, but I can tell you right now, it's going to be unchill filtered, and I really doubt they've added any colouring to it. Having said that, hey, I could be wrong. But I've tasted this now, I've had my first taste of it, and I'm not detecting any. My second option to consider is a single malt as an official bottling, which is very quickly coming onto the radar of the serious whiskey drinker, who's got a few years' experience under the belts and who is not frightened of sour and bitter. This is Craigellachie. Wonderful old-fashioned label, really looks the part, not too expensive, 13-year-old single malt, bottled at 46%. This particular version I will be reviewing in 2024. It's the Bass Armagnac matured Craigellachie. But you can get the standard 13-year-old, and also if you're feeling very extravagant and you've got a good budget, there's the 17-year-old. They're really, really good bottlings, nicely presented and unchill filtered. It says so on the back of the label. Non-chill filtered and natural colour. This is again someone in a specialist whiskey shop. This is the sort of whiskey they're going to recommend to you. They're not going to recommend any Johnny Walkers, any Chivas Regal. No. If they know their business, they're going to recommend brands that you're probably not aware of, and certainly the versions of these brands that you're probably unfamiliar with. Now, my final recommendation is it's £150 a bottle in the UK, but you could find it out with the UK to be a little bit more reasonably priced because it's simply such an unknown single malt. It's a knock, and it's the 24-year-old bottled at 46%. unchill filtered, and as far as I'm concerned, natural colour. Give me a second. They call it vintage amber. That's what they call it. Honestly, yeah, it says it in the front label. Non-chill filtered, natural colour. I already knew that, but I'd forgotten I knew it. These things happen. This is a quintessential sherry bomb. Sherry cask, not full maturation sherry cask matured, but very effective, good quality sherry casks, which at this age, and this is important to realise, as whisky gets older, the conversation's more about the quality of the casks and less about the quality of the liquor that was produced in the stills. That's just the reality of older whiskies. It's really down to the calibre of the cask's integrity in delivering the complex range of flavours, which not only affect the flavour of the whisky, but introduce and amplify the sensation range within the signature of the spirit coming off the stills. So here we have 3 intensely flavoured whiskies, absolute sippers, not for cocktails, not for mixing, not for lemonade. Don't do it. Please do not do that. You basically, it's like wearing a valuable watch while you're playing in a sandpit. There's some things you just don't do in life. Or trying to ride a good quality bicycle over a sand dune at the seaside. I mean, there's no faster way to wear out your gears than doing your gears and sprockets than doing that. You know, these bottles are bought and consumed with respect to the age, the experience, the calibre, the quality of what they can deliver. They're not whiskies for an inexperienced palate. No way. It's unlikely you'd even be buying or considering these for that. This is for the experienced whisky drinker, whether you're buying for somewhere else or, importantly, you're buying for yourself. All Ralphie recommended. This one's been reviewed. These 2 will be reviewed in 2024, and they will be good reviews as well. So now you know. See you soon.